Hello. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use how to upload your Vivado projects to GitHub. And for that, I have this project where I only have VHDL or RTL code files, and I want to upload this project to GitHub. So basically, what I want is just these files, the constraints and sources, and I want to upload these to a repository on GitHub. The only problem is that if I upload the whole thing, the whole project to GitHub, each time I open the project, it just goes out of sync with the one on the repository because Vivado automatically opens up some new files, writes up some journals, some logs, and adds all other things. So yeah, I don't want the whole thing, I just want the files there. And then I also want to have a TCL file which can recreate this project that I wanted. Okay, so to start, I'll open the GitHub page, and I'll go to my home, and over here I will create a new repository, and I'm going to give it a name. Let's call it SHD20. So this is a temperature sensor, and I'm going to use this name. Okay, I'm going to give it some description. I have written it already, and that's why it's already saved here. I'm going to choose the visibility to public. You can use private or public, whatever you want. And I would like to add a readme file and then create repository. Okay, so once you have the repository ready, this is your link for the repository, and now you need to clone it on your computer. So for cloning, I use this program, which is sourcetree. It has the same GitHub account logged in, and now I can go to remote and I can refresh the repositories for my GitHub account. Okay, and now you can see we have this repository right here, the one that we created. I want to clone this, and I want to select the location where I want to clone this. Okay, so I'm going to choose the same location that my other project is in. Okay, select folder, and I'm going to give it this name. Okay, so yeah, you need to enter this name here as well. Okay, so I'm going to use this name and then clone. All right, so now I have the project here, the new folder created here by sourcetree, and it already has the readme file with the project name and description that we entered there. Okay, so now I'm going to create some new folders here. I'm going to create a sources folder, a constraints, and a tickle file, a folder for tickle files. Okay, so yeah, these are the only things that I need to be on GitHub. And now I'm going to put the sources here. I'm going to go to my project, copy the sources, paste them here. Take the constraints file and paste them here. Okay, now what I want to do is to create a project folder here. So I'm going to open Vivado, create a new project. I'm just going to call it project, I'm going to use this, the repository location, as my project location. Click on next. I want to specify the sources at this time, so don't check this. Click on next, and now click on add directories, and within this directory you need to select the sources. Click select, add sources from subdirectories, and do not check this copy sources into the project. You don't want to copy the sources, you want to keep using the same sources. Okay, so now click on next. For the constraints file, add the file, go back, select the constraints folder, and select the constraints file. Do not copy constraints into the project. Click on next. Choose your board. Click on finish. Okay, so now you have the project here, and we have all our design sources here and the constraints file here. And this is basically what we want. But now we don't really want to upload the whole thing to sourcetree. It will show the project files, the constraints, and the sources. But we just want the constraints and the sources, and maybe the tickle file. We don't want the whole project there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a tickle file from this project. Right, tickle file, this is the same directory. I want it to be written in the TCL folder. I'm going to name the tickle file something else. Let's use the name of the project, which is SHT20 sensor 0227, I guess. Yeah, 7, and then temperature .tcl. I want to check this and this and this, the 3 here, and then click on OK. Now this will create a tickle file and place it in this folder over here. Yeah, you can see the file here. Successfully generated the file. Would you like to open the file now? Yes. Okay, so one thing I want you to change here is under the create project heading, I want you to add a // here. So this will basically it's working from tickle directory, but you want the project outside the tickle directory over here, so that's why you have to include a // here. Okay, you save this file, and now you can close this. Okay, and now even if you delete the project, you can recreate using this tickle file. For recreating, you open Vivado. Okay, while that opens, let me show you what we have here. Okay, now the project files are removed. We only have constraint, source, and tickle. This is all we want to upload, nothing more. Okay, but now how do we create the project using that tickle file? So what I want is to go here and run this file, and for this I need to copy this directory. In Vivado, change directory to this. I need to change the slashes to backslashes because this is how Linux uses directories. Okay, so now I'm here. Just to confirm, I'm going to print working directory using pwd, and it shows me I'm there. So now I'm going to source the file, this tickle file, press enter, and now this will create the project for you. and it will basically just create the project in the same location where it was before. It will automatically add your files there, the constraints and everything. Okay, but now how do you commit this project to GitHub? For that, you need to go back here, and oh no, the project folder is again there. So how do we remove this? To remove this, go back into your project directory, GitHub directory, and then create a new file. Call it, rename it to .gitignore. Remove the .txt. Open the file and then write here project slash. So what this will do is basically just ignore this project directory. Do not upload this to GitHub. Upload the other things, which is these three folders and the readme and gitignore. Okay, you can confirm this by going back to sourcetree, and these project folders will be removed. And now you have a gitignore here, the constraints, sources, and tickle files. You can stage them all and then write your comment, edit all project files. You need to push the changes to your online repository and then commit. Okay, there you go. You have your files over here. Let's refresh the browser window. And you can see you have the three folders here, the tickle file, sources, and constraints. You have the gitignore, and then you also have the readme over here. Okay, so this is how you basically push your Vivado projects to GitHub. Now let's say I delete everything. I don't have anything here, and now I want the project again. Let's say this is some other PC, your teammate is working on it, and he wants the same project that you have. Okay, I'm just going to close this and delete it from here. Right. Okay, so how do I get the project from here into my PC? So for that, you need to clone, and you put the HTTPS, copy, you put it here, press tab, and this confirms that this is a GitHub repository. Now you browse and select the same folder. Let's rename it to this. And then clone. Okay, let's go back there. And you see the folder is there and everything inside. We have the codes and sources and everything. To recreate the project, follow the same steps. Open Vivado, just source this tickle file, and it will create the project for you over here. But just to confirm, let me just do that. Okay, I will go here. Change the directory to this. And then I want to go to the TCL folder. And then I want to just source this file. And this basically just recreates the project for you with all the files in there. Your source tree is up to date because the project file is folder is excluded. and you can see the project folder is created here. It will contain all the simulations and everything, all the synthesis and design files, but not the actual codes. The codes will actually be here. And yeah, there you go. In the next video, I will show you how to add the IP blocks into your design and then keep that design on GitHub so that you and your teammates can work on it. So this is it for now. Thank you very much. Bye bye.